So I'm like super nervous, so bear with me. I've been up, one, two, three again. I've always been pretty curious about the idea of being homeless. When I was younger, I would wonder what situations and circumstances causes someone, to be homeless. So today I'll be talking to you guys about people who choose to be homeless, people who are homeless because of reasons besides drug abuse, and the 9 to 5 of a homeless person. And so the sources I used to gather my information were Happiness Is, American Nomads by BBC, and Signs of the Times, which is a documentary about the homeless situation in Seattle. And so when I was looking for people who choose to be homeless, it was like not a lot of people I could find. So I came across American Nomads, and they're mostly people who live in southwest area of America. They live in cars and under bridges and sometimes in tent cities. And during the documentary, I found a guy named Ted Combs who who worked for Wall Street for 12 years, and he was currently living in Slab City, which is a tent community inside of California. And he had a quote where he said, "You see people living in these dilapidated trailers, people might think of it as some sort of sad experience, but I see it as the ultimate expression of freedom. When you live in a trailer and you're not paying property taxes and you can leave anytime you want, that is a true idea of freedom that so many people don't grasp." And I think like that perspective on homelessness by a homeless person is pretty awesome. So like willingly be able to make yourself an outcast and be homeless was a pretty cool thing. While some people do choose to be homeless, the majority of the people don't choose it at all. Many people in our society have to choose between food, shelter, and other basic needs. In the United States, 3.5 million people experience being homeless each year, and 35% of these people are homeless with their families, and 22% of these people suffer from mental illness, so they shouldn't even be, on the streets. And work wages also plays an important role in the population of homeless people. According to the National Low Income Housing Commission, families would need to earn $15.37 an hour to afford a 2-bedroom apartment at fair market rent, while the federal minimum wage is only $7.25, and in Arizona it's a whopping $7.80. And if two people, husband and wife, both made minimum wage, they still only make $14.25 or $14.50, which still isn't $15.37, which they believe everyone should be making. And politics also shares the blame in this situation. Government funding housing was drastically cut in the 1980s from the 60s, when in the 60s there was drastically or barely any homelessness going on. And I'm going way too fast. So lastly comes the grind of every homeless person. From sunup to sundown, 365 days a year. Most homeless people call it flying a sign, which is holding up a sign and asking for money. Some people think that you can make like a couple $100 just flying a sign and asking for money, but majority of the time, in reality, people only make $20 to $40 in an 8-hour shift. And most homeless people work in shifts. So if one guy's on the corner for 30 minutes, another guy will come 30 minutes later and they'll switch and vice versa. So there's like rules and regulations to their little society, which is pretty cool. And I'm going way too fast. I have a quote here from a homeless man. He says, "I stay on here for 12 hours and it's mentally hard on you. You get physically tired. Walking back and forth, you're really tired. And cold by the end of the night. And someone spits on you and calls you a bad name. We're already beat down enough. Why would you want to hurt someone more?" And in this quote, it just shows that the struggle of being homeless is pretty tough, and it's a lonely and sad experience. In conclusion, I understand now that being homeless is a struggle within itself. It's not always just the life of an addict or a lazy person. And sometimes it can be a very liberating experience, but most of the times you feel more like a prisoner. So that's it.